Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's myself and Mr. Jose Espinel. We are here to talk about the 6th episode of House of the Dragon. Very late, I might add, but hey, here we are. We're going to talk about it, get right into it. Jose, how's it going, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here and finally be on one of these after shows to talk about House of the Dragon,
Yeah,
as I have been loving the hell out of this show so much. It's great. It's honestly, I'm just so glad that we get Game of Thrones again, in this
yeah.
new form. So much so that I don't think I've told you guys. I am actually learning High Valyrian on Duolingo, so that's been fun. Ritzas, everyone. There you go.
All right, whatever the hell that meant. Look, and I'll tell you what, this show is extremely great. You're not wrong. I think, Andor aside, because it's coming up with some
Right.
competition here. I think that before Andor aired, House of the Dragon definitively was the best show on TV. And honestly, this episode just convinced me of that even more because this time jump was awesome, and I was very nervous about this because
I was gonna say I was skeptical about the time jump at first because we were jumping so far ahead in time so early in the show.
yeah,
But man, I loved it. It was great.
I'll tell you what, starting with the birth
Oh
was
yeah.
interesting, but I can't explain the science behind why, but I think that was the best way to do it. I don't know why that worked so well, but somehow I was immediately like, yeah, okay, that's Rhaenyra. That's the new Rhaenyra. Like, somehow just watching her go through one of her most painful moments and most vulnerable moments of her life.
It kind of brings it back full circle to what her mom told her. How this is your life. Your battlefield is giving birth to your heirs.
Yeah.
Like, it really made me think about what her mom said to her while watching this childbirth.
Yeah.
It was great stuff.
Which there's a great parallel to Rhaenyra's mom. We're going to get into that here in a little bit, but the other thing that was pretty wild was, and I thought one of the most beautiful scenes, and again, I think that this all kind of added to why this time jump works so well. When she was walking up the stairs and all that pain, I think it just really worked because a lot of it came down to how it was shot. I just thought the way that was shot was incredible. It was like a long sequence, you know what I mean? Like, there was no cutting when they were walking up the stairs. Her and Lenore, right? Her husband,
Lenore.
Lenore, who I think is awesome in this, by the way. He was another one because in the prior episode, which we really only saw him as a kid, just a couple times, but in the prior episode, I wasn't a big fan of her marrying him because I wanted at first Sir
Kristen Cole.
Yeah, and honestly, my mind's kind of changed on that now. Now I actually like the dynamic between these two. It's a very kind of messed up relationship that they have, but on the same hand, I do like that they both just agree to it. They're both kind of happy this way. It's strange, but I'm down for it, man. It kind of works
Just
out.
wait for the next one.
Well, I'll tell you now, I'm down for it. We'll see what happens. I know you've seen the next one, so. But I can tell you for this episode, I do like the dynamic, and one of the funniest moments did come from Lenore, by the way. I think the funniest moment in the whole series when he comes in walking with his friend who was drunk, and he's like, "My wife, I fell down, I died." I had to rewind that part, the way he delivered it, and I'm like, is he gonna be the new Tyrion? I don't know, because this show doesn't have its comic relief yet, but they could build it to that. But you've seen the next one, so don't give anything away, but I'm just saying that it's a possibility. Well, because
if you guys have seen it, you guys would know. Will know if you have seen it, because
but it was a thought in my mind. I was like, not that it's mattered for this show, but it doesn't have its comic relief yet. We haven't found that in this show yet. So I was thinking maybe he'd be a good candidate, because that scene killed me. Thought it was so funny. And the thing that surprised me is this whole rift that's really become a big rift now between Alicent and Rhaenyra, which this is kind of the new talk, right? Are you team Alicent? You team Rhaenyra?
I like your Instagram post.
You've seen episode 7. I can ask you this: are you still team Alicent?
No.
Wow. Okay, so as of episode 6, I'm team Alicent, which is funny because you know as well as I, if you'd had asked me that 3 episodes ago, I'd be like, oh, team Rhaenyra, because I didn't realize. That's all I'll say. But I think I am on the losing team, that said, but I'm still team Alicent. But I know I'm on the losing team because I think
we'll see where you are after the next episode.
Exactly. Yeah. So I might change my stance.
I was Rhaenyra for the first. Was it? There were kids until episode 5, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was Team Rhaenyra from 1 to 5.
Yeah, I was Team Rhaenyra to 1 to 4.
And then watching
So-
6, I wasn't even really on either of their teams. They were both bitches. But now watching 7, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I still don't know where really I sit.
Oh,
to be
really?
honest.
Okay.
I really don't, because it's you just gotta watch it, honestly.
I tell you, man, I think.
Honestly, I think 7 is my favorite episode so far.
Okay.
I'll say it right now. This episode 7 was
Yeah. Well,
just a lot of shit happens. That's all I'm gonna say.
well, I'm definitely gonna get to that soon. Just wanted to get caught up on 6 first, and then because I didn't want my mind to be so blocked out by 7 that I couldn't review 6. You know, so
like I am
yeah.
right now. Like I'm just thinking about 7 this entire time.
Exactly.
Right now.
I didn't want that for myself, so I tried to avoid
I
it.
didn't think I was gonna be doing this with you.
Oh
That's
yeah,
why
no,
I
I'm not
just wanted to
blaming
be
you.
in.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
like for myself, I know how
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get
of course.
if something
Yeah.
like trumps the other thing. And the thing is about this show, it does keep getting better and better and better with each
Dude,
episode. So
each episode just
yeah, even
that's why
though
I can't wait for episode 8. Honestly,
I think
it's gonna
6 would be the exception, but that's only because they had to readjust. I think that's the only reason that 6 wasn't my favorite at the
be
time.
7
saw
just trumped 6 so much, man. I'm telling you, man, you're gonna love episode 7.
All right, I can't wait. Back to 6 though, because we got to meet Aegon finally, Targaryen, which is a real. Everybody's talking about the moment with him in the window, which was what the fuck.
Oh god.
That's a choice. It's a choice, but you know that was interesting. And
Allison just walks in like it's nothing. It's like, oh yeah, he probably does this all the time.
I mean, at first, you know, they kind of set him up to be kind of not so great, mainly because of the way he was treating his siblings and others. But you can give him a pass for that because of the age. But the window thing was a choice. That's all I'm gonna say. That was nuts. Him just whacking it in the window. That's all. That's all I'll say.
Allison just walks in like she's seen it before, so it's like there was no surprise in her face.
I know. It's like, how many times has he done this? That was my exact thought. But yeah, that's Game of Thrones for you. But you got. But the thing that set me on Team Allison, it actually had nothing to do with this episode. It was the one prior where Allison had the team with her father, or the team with her father. I'm sorry, the conversation with her father prior to the wedding, where he told her, Rhaenyra's.
Rhaenyra will probably have your sons like offed.
Well, Rhaenyra's playing the Game of Thrones by proxy, so are you. And to me, it's exactly what it is. I think Allison went into this very naive in a lot of ways. I really do, and I think that to me,
she was just a kid,
right?
Well, she didn't know better,
right? And by default, and screw her father, even though I do like him, but screw him for being like talking her into that, because he did. He talked her into that whole thing, and to me, that's like she's kind of an innocent bystander in that way.
Also, the other thing, it's not that I'm not Team Allison. I'm just not Team Otto, because I feel like he also did force Allison to basically marry Viserys.
I know,
because he saw that as a way to not only empower Allison but also empower himself.
Yeah.
Because ultimately he wants to be the most powerful in this game, in Westeros.
So what are we? We're a decade later now, right? So
we're 10 years later, yeah.
So do you think Allison still holds a grudge about her father? Is that the sense you were getting? Because
watching it here in episode 6,
you don't think it's 6?
Huh?
You don't think it's 6? That she gets, because to me she does, because Rhaenyra made that move and Allison knows it. And then now she really knows it, now that she looks at Rhaenyra's kids. Everybody knows that those aren't her kids. Everybody knows that. That's
yeah, Viserys is blind to that.
Ridiculous.
He just doesn't want to see it.
And I like the guy, but now I'm like, you're a buffoon. You know, because I really did. Like, I was giving the guy the benefit of the doubt. He got real sick. You know, I get that, but you're a buffoon. He's a buffoon.
Bro, he's lost an entire arm.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm not, you know, I pity him for that, but he's a buffoon. I mean, if he doesn't know those kids aren't hers, come on. That's ridiculous.
Look at the father. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
the father.
Yeah,
quote
the
unquote.
show was just really smart in acknowledging it, though. Like, they could have, like, let that slide and not have said anything about it, you know, and
I
just,
feel like it makes it. I feel like it makes the show more intense though that way.
yeah, yeah. But I like that it acknowledges that that's not her kids. I 100% agree with that. And yeah, Rhaenyra's relationships are just kind of really intertangled, kind of messed up. But the biggest surprise, and don't give anything away, but Daemon was the biggest surprise in episode 6 because he's calmed down. He's calmed down a lot. You okay over there?
No, yeah, I just choked on my water.
Okay. Wonder why. But look, yeah, no, Daemon in episode 6 has calmed down a lot, like, honestly, and that shocked me. But I think that's going to change now that his wife committed which was badass.
Suicide.
That was badass. Like,
I know that she committed suicide. That shit was ridiculous.
I don't endorse suicide, but she was like, "I'm going out by dragon fire."
I was about to say, honestly, if there's any way to go, it's literally by having your own dragon kill you.
She wasn't gonna go out like Rhaenyra's mom, you know. That was essentially.
Yeah.
I love that kind of came back around, and we saw
And
a different
I also
result.
like how Daemon actually felt something when
He did.
Like, it
Shocking.
was the first time we ever see him actually feel for someone passing. Like,
dude, you're right.
Like
Yeah.
he actually loved her. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it was crazy.
He had actual kids with this woman. Like, he actually loved her.
Yeah, it wasn't till
You know what I
then
mean? Like,
that I was like, because I thought he was just kind of playing her like he would everybody else, and no, he's changed in a decade so much in this episode, and then we've seen actual remorse on his face for somebody's death, which was like, that was unexpected from the guy that just was beating his wife with a rock an episode ago, you know.
Yeah,
it's crazy the changes, but I don't know, man. I think Rhaenyra, I can't ask you too many questions because you kind of know a lot of results, but I
I know every result. What you mean?
I think Rhaenyra is, well, I just don't know how many things get paid off in 7, but what I would say is I think Rhaenyra's on a path to darkness. I really do. I just had that feeling. Like, she really is. I think Alicent is on that path by proxy, not so much her own doing, if that makes sense. She's got to be on that path because she's playing the game by default. But again,
yeah, I'm gonna just shut my mouth.
Right. So, you know, whatever happens next week is gonna maybe change my mind on all this. But dude, it was another great episode. I mean, was there anything else you wanted to add about 6?
Well, what about Kristen Cole? I mean, he's changed completely too. He was Team Rhaenyra. Now he's Team Alicent. Honestly, like, he's because of what she did to him. That boat scene when Alicent, Rhaenyra mentioned how, like, I'm gonna get married to this guy, but you can just kind of basically be my side piece.
Right.
Right. He wasn't having that shit. He was like, no, I want you to run away with me. Let's get married somewhere random, and you don't have to worry about this politics stuff that you didn't want to be a part of.
Yeah.
And so he just flew 180 and just went to Team Alicent. And
that is kind of crazy when you think about that, because he switched sides himself, which is funny because I'm not even necessarily Team Kristen right now, but I am Team Alicent. So
I'm definitely not. I'm not Team Kristen. I was at first.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Well, what he did at the wedding was a shit move. That's what turned me on Kristen. That was a shit move.
That was ass. Like, what the? I mean, it wouldn't be a Game of Thrones wedding without a murder,
of course,
obviously.
But I just didn't expect it to come from him at the time.
Honestly, bro, you know what? I thought it was gonna be Daemon.
Me too.
I thought it was gonna be Daemon beating someone up to get Rhaenyra out of there and them run away together. But then when I see it's him beating up Laenor's gay lover, I was like, fuck.
Well, let me ask you this, now that we actually got you on one of these after shows. Let me ask you this, because I wanted to know, do you think if that interruption didn't happen, that Daemon was going to take Rhaenyra and run off?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Without a shadow of a doubt, he would have. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
He definitely has some kind of feeling towards Rhaenyra. It's fucked, but and I feel like deep down she does as well.
Careful. But yeah, because I know what you've seen. Careful.
But like, I'm just saying, just in that scene alone, the way that, like, they were talking to each other and stuff, it's just, I feel like they just always have, and they just always have had feeling. Like, I feel like he just doesn't want to do anything right now because of her age. She's just a kid.
Right. Well, I mean, they set it up too to where Matt Smith and Mally Alcock, I think is the actress's name. They just had
Who
great
the
chemistry.
girl?
Yeah, they just had great chemistry.
Emma
No,
Emily Coughlin is her name? Emily.
I don't know.
Emily something I think is her name.
I thought it was Molly Alcock or something like that. But anyway, so
Millie
Alcock. Thank you.
That's her name. Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought that they set it up really well for them to have chemistry.
Yeah, they had amazing chemistry.
So now you're gonna buy that, I think, a little bit more. I don't know, but I'll see where this all goes. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and cut it off here. But will you tease episode 7 for us since you've seen it?
Will you give you some?
Just give me a little tease, but don't spoil anything. Like, can you tell us a little bit of what to expect in terms of maybe just emotions we're going to be feeling when watching it? I mean, it doesn't have to be any specific stories.
There's a lot of ups and downs.
Okay.
There's carnage. I'll tell you that much.
Oh. Nice.
And not so much in the murder aspect, but there's carnage, and you'll see what I mean.
All right.
There's gonna be a lot of what the fuck moments in this episode as well. And like some stuff that you would not expect that will happen.
Okay.
And more feuds, man. It's just it's just a very, very, very amazingly shot and amazingly written episode. Yeah. I loved it from beginning to end. I was never not entertained with this episode. I from beginning to end was like, fuck yeah, this episode is just a masterpiece. Honestly, it is great.
I felt like you were Saw Gerrera when you were describing that. Lies, deception,
basically
more lies.
No, but yeah, I honestly just can't wait for the episode after 7 because I already know that it's just gonna be even that much better.
Fair enough.
Oh,
so
man,
7 sets it up, huh? It sets up 8.
Oh, 7 sets up 8 in so many different ways, bro. It's like,
how many this season do you know?
I think it's 8 or 9, maybe 10. I don't know.
I don't know. I wanted to say 10, but I don't know.
It's somewhere around like 9 or 10. I'm pretty sure.
All right. Well, fair enough. We'll figure it out. Look, guys. I've been Don Martino. That's been Jose Espinel. This has been our House of the Dragon talk. Thanks for coming by, Jose. It's nice to have you here for once doing this.
It was fun being here.
Yeah, absolutely.
About one of my favorite shows going right now.
Yeah,
honestly.
100%, dude. It is. I mean, like I said, Andor's got.
Listen, Andor.
It's given.
Listen, Andor.
Andor's giving it a run for its money, but
yeah,
it's not there yet, and this is still my favorite show on television.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah, dude. All right. Well, look, dude. That's it, and appreciate you being here. And guys, we're gonna get going. Before we do, please help us out and like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, hit the bell for notifications. Once again, I've been Don Martino. That's been Jose Espinel. And we will talk to you guys later.
See ya.